Hi and welcome back to the Cheeky Crypto podcast. My name's Chris and it's fantastic to have you back with us for what is a very important podcast. And I don't say that lightly. This is going to be very eye-opening for many people in the space. And I think it's an important video to watch all the way through to the end. I'd appreciate you sharing this video, subscribing, tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications and mashing up the like button if you appreciate what I'm covering in today's podcast. Now, we're going to dig into narrative and why it's so important. I'm going to raise some, concerns that I have, and they're just my opinions, my concerns, and I'm going to air them. You can let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are around my concerns and my thoughts. And yeah, look, I think people are going to be shocked, but at the same time, I'm just going to air it. It is what it is. If you enjoy this sort of content, mash up the like button. It really does support the channel and we really do appreciate it. Subscribe, tap that bell, select all the notifications so you never miss a video. And yeah, look, I'd appreciate if you share this video. But, without further ado, let's get down to the desktop. So we're going to start here and we're going to look at, I guess, why narrative matters and why it's important, and I want to make sure that people understand. So we've got narrative can construct public opinion, influence investment decisions, and ultimately impact the adoption of cryptocurrency. Now, it's my opinion that that people are very influenced by people they respect, and I'm going to come on to why I'm saying this and why it's important in a moment. But when new projects are developed to provide solutions to innovative ideas, the crypto market usually propels towards these trends, and as a result, price acceleration is imminent. Look, we've all seen lots of people talking positively or negative about projects, and it influences price. And this is, narrative. The biggest narrative at the moment is artificial intelligence and machine learning. And, I think that's a fantastic narrative. It's one Nick and myself have been behind since the birth of our channel. But, the prices of AI projects have exploded of late. And, look, I'm not bashing anything. It's a narrative. And that's why it's so important, because everybody's talking about it really positively now. People can see the power of AI, and, that's going to be reflected in the price of the crypto, right? And this is why narrative is so important. Now, what I do want to talk about is, the negatives, and again, how things, I guess, are said that perhaps aren't true. And, you could just go to the comments of our YouTube videos. You haven't been right yet. Your predictions are always wrong. Wrong again, by the way. April's bullish, 39. You're wrong again, mate. Wrong interpretation of data. There's a reason why I'm highlighting these sorts of things, right? Because this is a narrative. This is a narrative from, perhaps there are other influencers in the comments of the videos. Perhaps they're people that we've banned. There could be a number of reasons, but they're trying to build a narrative that we were always wrong. And that is just, it couldn't be further from the truth. We've highlighted back in May that the bottom would be June. June had a bottom. We highlighted that wasn't the bottom and we expected a new lower low. We got that in November. So I would say that we were right all the way across there. We highlighted FTX was going to collapse before 𝗕𝗓 put out his tweet and before many people were talking about it. We basically indicated that it was a wise idea to short FTT and Solana, and people made thousands of % profit. So these, I guess, examples where people are building a narrative that isn't true, is there. And the problem that happens from the negative or the positive is that people see these things, and because they see it regularly, they start to believe that it's the truth, even when it's not the truth. And that's why narratives can be very, very dangerous. And, this is why Nick and myself always say, go away, do your own research, because Nick and myself might have a certain narrative that we truly honestly believe in, and it's not endorsed by anybody. It's just us speaking our minds, giving our opinions. But if you only watch us and you watch us all the time, that, you know, over time hearing the same, you know, reaffirming narrative can potentially mean that you believe that narrative because you have respect for us and so forth, and maybe we're wrong. And that's why we always say, go away, do your own research. It's not just us being wrong. It could be another influencer. You could be, you know, doing the same with somebody else. And I'm not trying to discourage watching videos or influencers, but you've got to back it up with research. And I'm going to come on to this in, you know, a little bit more detail very, very soon. But there are studies that have been done, the illusion of truth effect. And this is what I'm talking about. The illusion of truth effect, also known as the illusion of truth effect. Basically is like, you know, you've had studies in 1977 at various different universities, if I can get my words out, universities, when truth is assessed. And, you know, it was, you know, they looked at different types of newspaper headings, you know, whether it was bold and all this sort of stuff. And basically it's alarming the results. And basically if you read something enough, or you see something enough, or you're told something enough, it becomes gospel truth, even if it isn't. So narrative is very, very dangerous, as well as very, very positive. Now I want to talk about influencers a little bit, and it isn't all influencers, but, you know, I think that it's really important to be aware that there are influencer groups. Now, like, here's an example. We've got a list of some of the influencers. You know, I just want to, you know, BitBoy's in there. You know, it's your 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗬's in there. Bitcoin Ben, you know, Volsky Coin. Like the list goes on, right? And you know, Joe. You know, the list goes on, right? And look, on the face of it, like, there's nothing wrong with having a crypto influencer group. Like, I'm not against it in any shape or form, particularly like when there's no manipulation going on in that group. I just want to be clear, like, this is just a group of influencers that just chat amongst themselves. Like, if the market tanks, you'll see, you know, some influencers asking, you know, each other, you know, what's going on, what are your thoughts, and all this sort of stuff. And like, there's nothing wrong with that. I just want to be really clear. There's nothing, you know, malicious going on in the background for any of these influencer chats. I just want to be really clear on that. But what I would say is you can form narratives from groups like this, and they can be very, very dangerous. Have you noticed how all of a sudden there's a flip to bullish, and like the vast majority of influencers are really, really bullish? That could be because they're chatting in these groups, and, you know, perhaps some of them look up to certain other YouTubers because they've got over 1 million subscribers, and so forth. You know, what I'm trying to get at is, you know, and it's a question because, you know, there's no way of confirming it. I mean, I'm in these groups. I don't chat in them, but I'm in these groups and I see the conversations that happen. And there's nothing in there to suggest this is what's happening. But it's not to say that it isn't happening, and narratives are being formed from influencer groups that are then portrayed on their YouTube channels and obviously out to the masses. So I want to be really, really clear that narrative is really, really important. It can lead to fantastic gains, but it can also lead people into traps, bull traps, bear traps. And, you know, I think it's really important to be aware of these, you know, potential risks when it comes to narrative. This is why Nick and myself say, always go away and always go and do your research. There's no substitute for doing your research, and so forth. Now, I'm not suggesting that anything, you know, in these groups is, you know, is malicious or anything like that. I really, honestly, don't believe that is the case. But I think it's a prime example of where narratives and changes in sentiment can potentially come from. And, you know, it's a risk to be aware of. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, mash up the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tap in that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.